What is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are we doing today? We're back here today on Indiana Farms, and it has finally quit raining. Fields have dried up enough, or the field has dried up enough to where I can start planting. So that will what we'll be doing today. I need to get canola planted in the field. My goal is to get it all done today because it's already August 1st. I want to get it in as soon as possible. That way it's ready to harvest as soon as possible. So yeah, we'll be running this guy right here. I bought it fresh. Make sure you guys go watch my most previous video. You guys will see me buy this thing. I was contemplating which one I wanted to buy for like a solid 5 minutes. It was a whole ordeal. So make sure you guys go watch my most previous video. You guys will see me get all the way up to this point. If you guys want to see this entire field being worked, I have a few videos on this field already. So make sure you guys go watch those fields. But today, let's just go ahead and get into planting. I decided to I was going to run the 410 John Deere with this harvester, or not harvester, with this seeder. But I felt like it was kind of overkill. I didn't need something that big. I was thinking about getting a bigger seeder, but went with this one. So decided to just use this tractor. Hopefully this field goes quick. I mean, it's a small seeder. It's going to take a hot minute for sure. It also only holds 3,100 liters of seed, so it's also gonna need refilled a good few times probably. My goal is to get somewhat of a headland. Bro, oh. You guys didn't see that. Let's switch it over to canola. I missed it. Oats, canola. I almost planted this whole field with wheat. Alright, lower it down. Start her up. Of course, I decided to buy a brand new seeder and use it in the rockiest field. Hopefully this field, with us going a solid 11 miles per hour, this should go somewhat quick. I'm hoping. I hope this doesn't take too long. Like I said, with it being so small, it's definitely gonna take a hot minute. It's gonna take a while. This might be a few-parter episode here. After seeing the amount of rain that was supposed to be coming through, I almost decided to not do canola and leave the field as is till next season and start fresh with beans in the spring. But luckily there's quite a large gap in the rain here that wasn't supposed to. The weather changed overnight. So luckily that cloud passed through faster than what the weather was expecting, because if that rain persisted, this field would have been way too wet to plant. Within, 3-4 days, it was going to have to take up to dry. So luckily, it quit raining, and it didn't rain too hard, actually. It actually was kind of a light rain, and they were expecting a lot heavier rain. So luckily, I lucked out here and is able to be planting right now. I almost wasn't able to. and I'm also already expecting kind of a crap yield. I mean, it needs lime, it has rocks, and it's at 0 fertilization. I would be surprised if I get anything over like a 50% yield bonus, to be honest with you. I know I probably should have went through and at least at the very minimum limed. And then of course it needed rock picked, 0 fertilization. At the very minimum, I should say, at the very minimum I should have fertilized and limed. And then it would have been rock picking. But I decided to just leave the field as is, start fresh next harvest, or after harvest. Trying not to go too far into that creek there. Yeah, we're already halfway done with the headland, so this will actually go pretty quick. Only taking like 4 or 5 minutes for the headland. That's pretty good. I honestly think it took longer for the headland for the when I was cultivating. But I also got to remember how much smaller this seeder is compared to that cultivator. That cultivator has a much wider spread than this seeder. But on top of that, we are at higher miles per hour, so it may, just may, equal out. I'm hoping it does, because I do not want to be in this field too long. I'm trying not to split it up too much. Split it up throughout too many days. I'm hoping to get it all done today, but... Now I'm sure if I worked into the night some, no, I mean, this should be done by 9 p.m. tonight. Alright, and now we can start with our straightaways. I was also hoping to get a seeder with a fertilizer tank in it to fertilize with the seed. That way I could get some fertilization when I seed, but not that big of a deal. Like I said, I am not too worried about this field. I am mostly doing this field just for the fun of it. I'm trying out canola for the first time. So it's just one of those fun little hobby fields, like I said. I really hope I can get, I mean, I'm not expecting, but I hope I can get a decent, halfway decent profit off of this. I mean, because, like I said, I bought an entire seeder for this field specifically, so I'm hoping that this harvest will at least pay off the seeder. And then once the seeder's paid off, then I can start dumping some money into the field to get some good profit out of it. My only goal right now is to just pay off the seeder, because I needed a seeder anyways to begin with. So I decided to just spend the money on the seeder. I decided to just bite the bullet. So if I can pay off the seeder, then I can dump some money into fertilizer. I can lime it up, you know, rock pick, all of that good stuff. I think I'll go ahead and I will probably plow so that while I'm at it, while I'm perfecting the field. Might as well get everything done all at once. It doesn't technically need plowed. It honestly might need plowed after this harvest though. So if it doesn't need plowed, I'm gonna plow it either way, whether it does or doesn't, probably. Now if it doesn't, there is a chance that I might kind of be like, it'll be okay, and wait to plow, because there is sometimes that, like, I don't like when everything needs done all at once, like, because if I lime and plow, that means I'm gonna need to lime and plow all at the same time next time it needs it. Now if I spread that up, maybe one year I lime, the next year I plow, it's normally a lot easier and it's normally more time efficient. I can normally get crops in sooner into the field when I'm not having to do both plow and lime at the same time. But yeah, it'll just depend on where I'm at, what I'm doing at the time. We will see how it goes. I'm actually using a lot less seeds than what I thought I would. I was expecting to be probably at like 50% by now, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But I don't know. Now once I get this planted and all ready, I'll probably go through and spray herbicide. I really don't like weeds. Whoop, in the creek a little. Oopsie. So yeah, once I get this all planted, once I start seeing weeds, I'll go through and do herbicide, because like I said, I do not like weeds at all. And by that point, honestly might be ready for harvest. Probably go pretty quick here. Once it starts to get fall time, fields change quick. So far I'm liking the way this cedar, or so far I'm liking this cedar. It's doing quite well. It's honestly going much faster than what I was expecting with the width of the cedar. I was expecting it to take longer, but the fact that we've already got this much done, I am pretty positive we can have this entire field finished up by tonight. Worst comes to worst, we run into the night a little bit, have to turn on the lights, but it'll be fine, no big deal. I am honestly just getting excited for harvest. That's my favorite time of year, is harvest. I love everything about harvesting. It's the best, honestly. It's the best kind of field work, is harvesting. If I could sit all day in a harvester, combine, whatever. Now when it comes to like planting, I mean, like this right here, this is alright. I mean, I will say it's not the most fun. It's very time consuming. It's very I gotta really pay close attention. There's a lot of moving parts. There's a lot that I'm doing. Now when it comes to harvest, it's the same concept. It just, for me, it just feels different. It's more enjoyable when I'm harvesting than when I'm seeding. I mean, it's probably the same level of hardness, and there's same level of like time consumption, but it's just, harvest is more enjoyable than planting. I don't know, it feels like, I feel like I'm accomplishing more when I'm harvesting, because I'm seeing the grain being transported into my bins. It just makes me feel more accomplished. Now when I'm seeding, it's one of those in the back of my mind, I could always lose a crop. And when you're harvesting, you're not really losing anything. Unless you flip a semi going 80 down the road, you're not going to lose a crop during harvest. But you can definitely lose crop during, after seeding. So that, I don't know, just not as enjoyable, I guess, for seeding compared to harvesting. Cultivating, disking, plowing. Plowing, I hate with every fiber of my being. Plowing sucks. It is the most annoying, time-consuming thing ever. It's just, I almost always, 100% of the time, will hire a worker to plow before I will have a field plowed. If I have to plow the field, I almost just go without that yield bonus. I'll be like, well, I guess I'm not gonna get as good of a yield this year. But I mean, sometimes I'll plow. It's one of those, like, I will run a row or two. Sometimes I'll get the headland done, and I'm done. Once I get the headland, I'm like, okay, time for a worker. Fertilize spreading, I like spreading manure. It's one of those, when I'm spreading just the normal powder fertilizer or whatever on the fields, it goes so quick because it spreads at like 50 meters or something. Like, it's a crazy wide spread. It throws that fertilizer out there crazy. So it's one of those, it goes super quick. I've never had to fertilize enough to get bored with it, because it just goes so quick. Liming is about the same. I mean, it's not as wide of a spread in lime than fertilizer, but it's one of those, it goes really quick, it's easy, it's not terribly time consuming, it's not awful. So I like running big cedars, I will say that. When I'm running the huge cedars with like the air carts and stuff, that's always fun. I actually have a like massive cow farm. If you guys scroll down to some of my videos, you guys can see some of my content, some of my not content, what's the word I'm looking for? You guys can see some of my series. and I actually have like a mega cow farm series going on. I had it going on a little while back. I haven't posted anything to that series. I honestly haven't been on that map too terribly much lately. But if you guys scroll down just a little ways, you guys will come across a few of those videos. I believe I had a few seeding videos. If I don't, I apologize for getting your hopes up if you look for it. But it's one of those. It's one of that farm, that mega cow farm, is one of my favorite farms because it's literally just one like 500-acre field. So I'm not like running a whole bunch of smaller fields. Now I will say running small fields is a little more enjoyable, but it's a little more boring at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like it's enjoyable but sometimes boring. Now when you're running that huge field at like 500 acres, I think my entire farm is a total of like over 1,000 acres. So when you're running that kind of stuff, you're so preoccupied and busy that you forget to be bored. So even when I'm plowing and stuff, when I plow, I'm running like 4 or 5 plows all at the same time. So even though that I'm actually having to do the plowing myself, I'm also having 3, 4 other plows plowing with me. So since I'm always switching back and forth in between those workers and stuff as that hired help, it takes away the it doesn't take away the time consuming, because it still consumes the same amount of time. It takes away the having to just wait. It doesn't feel like it takes as long because you're doing so much all at once that it just goes way quicker. Now when you're running smaller fields, smaller farm, less equipment, when you're only running 1, 2 plows max all in one field, it tends to take longer, and that's when I end up hiring a worker. So I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that today. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this right here is going to wrap it up for this video. I think I'm going to do a part 2. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Make sure you guys go hit that like button if you guys like this video. If you guys subscribe, make sure you guys hit that bell notification icon. That way you guys never miss a video. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace out.